Hey everybody, Jake here from Bearded Gear. My voice is a little bit, I don't know, maybe it's just me. My throat feels a little scratchy. I just finished a podcast with my buddy CJ Miller of Miller Knife Works, and it's a Saturday evening, and I was really hoping that this package would get here today, because on Monday morning I'm going to be traveling, not far, but far enough that I wouldn't want to drive home to get a package if it showed up. And this is a package from my buddy Hero Sticks. Hero Sticks is on YouTube. I will link to his channel down below. He's loaned me a knife before. He loaned me one of the Summit knives, I think it's called El Capitan, to check out. And he has a great little channel on YouTube. He's been putting out interesting reviews, and I just like his take and his style. He's a cool dude. And he recently picked up a couple of this knife. He does this a lot, apparently. He likes to get multiple versions of a thing, check them all out, and then either sell or return or whatever he does with the extras. I think usually he just ends up selling them, and then keeping the one that he likes if he ends up liking them. So this is also a knife that I have personally been meaning to check out. Not just lately. Like lately, the fire's kind of been rekindled because there's been another batch of these and a lot of people are going crazy about them. But really for a couple of years, I've been meaning to check out something from Something Obscene Company. Felix, who's over there, I've now talked to just a little bit. I've got some friends who are friends with him, and cool guy, makes very interesting products, very unique branding. And it's a whole thing, right? And there's a couple of models that he has made up to this point. He's also collaborated now with Arcane Design Co. on that double-edged knife that they did together. Anyway, the Jcape is the model that has most stuck out to me as something that I think I would like ever since he first released it. And it's currently the version 3.5. I think that's because it's a 3.5-inch blade, or maybe he's done 3 iterations and then 1/2 iteration. I don't know, but this is a Jcape, and it's a version that I think is honestly probably the version I would pick. And if I end up loving it, I'm going to buy it from Hero Sticks. If not, I'll send it back to him and he's going to sell it. But I'm going to go ahead and use my brand new Quantum to get this open. So yeah, I've had a number of friends get these recently. Kevin from Lefty EDC has gotten a couple of them. I think he's ended up just keeping one, but he's gone through a few now. Ryan, who I'm partnered with for Left Concepts, he got one at the ICCE show. And when I was talking to Brian from Keenison Knives on the podcast, he has one of these and he's been talking about it. So, interesting outer box. This is very Something Obscene Company branding. This fist, you'll notice on a lot of his things, and the lightning bolt, the little brass knuckles tattooed on there. It's just an interesting, very recognizable brand image. On this end, it just says, "Thank you for supporting Something Obscene Company." So yeah, that's the outer box. And then inside, we've got just a white box. Now, these are built by Riat, which also makes me very happy because Riat builds some of my favorite knives. They're also building my production knife, which is on the way. Shout out to Left Concepts. Yeah, so Jcape V3. I guess this isn't version 3.5. Maybe 3.5 is the new run that's coming with all the like blacked out variants. They're like a bunch of DLC ones. And this was the run just before. I don't think these are available at retailers anymore. This one is the flamed titanium flipper version. You can get either flipper or thumb studs. Bowler CPM 20CV. Belt satin finish on the blade. And this one was built in 2020. Okay, yeah, so this one's a couple months old at least. All right, let's get out of here. Let's see what we got going on here. All right. Again, we've got that same logo there. Very recognizable. All right, what is happening? We've got a cloth, again, that same logo. There's some cards in here. Something Obscene Company card. Oh, that's cool. So this one is the ownership card, and it's signed, I assume, by Felix. Looks like it could be Felix. And then this, I believe Hero Sticks ordered this from a German site. I think Kevin also ordered one of his from the same German site, but I think this is where they ordered it from. All right, so there's that. And here we go. So already in the plastic, this thing is kind of exciting looking, especially on the lock side, because you've got that gold titanium, or yeah, gold finished, anodized, titanium lightning bolt shaped clip. Look at this thing. So I will say, I'm not usually a big fan of crazy clips. Like, it took me a while to become okay with the Chavez clip. Even still, I'd probably prefer the new Chavez clips, which won't be a skull. This is kind of on that same level. It's like a very Something Obscene Company clip. Instantly recognizable. He's the only one I've ever seen who does this. But this doesn't bother me as much as the skull for some reason. I'm kind of okay with this being a little bit of a wild clip. It's just different. It's unique. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb if you've got this clip to your pocket. But yeah, this is really nice. It feels a little lighter than I was expecting it to. This knife looks heavy, but I can see a ton of internal milling, so that's got to be why. This one, like I said, is the flamed titanium. I'm not usually a huge fan of flamed titanium, but something about it on this knife, especially with all the gold anodized hardware, looks really cool to me. And let's see how she flips. Oh, yeah, that's good. Okay, I see you. I was a little worried that this jimping was going to be too rough for me. It's not. It's definitely on the rougher end. I was also worried that these kind of grooves in the handle weren't going to fit my hand well. They do. They fit my hand quite well. Look at that grind. Compound hollow grind. So you've got a hollow down here, then a flat up to the tip. Big old swedge on there. These ergos, man, I like that right off the bat. Got a little bit of a forward choil I can get the tip of my finger into. This isn't quite big enough to like really wrap my finger in there confidently, but that's cool. One thing I didn't realize too, the logo is on both sides of the blade. That's kind of funny. So you've got the logo there, and then again, exact same spot on the other side of the blade. He really wants you to make sure that you know that he designed this knife. Only other marking I see is just a little CPM 20CV. If you can even see that, it's right tucked up against the frame there. The lighting might make that kind of difficult. Let's see how it does on closure. Ooh, that detent sounds crispy. So it's a little bit stiff through this portion, but then once it gets to that dropping spot, it's just dropping. Oh, that flipper is good on deployment. Makes really cool sounds too. Oh, I kind of have a feeling I'm just gonna end up buying this. I really quite like it. I don't know. I'm gonna spend at least up to my first impressions part of the process. I'll carry it once, maybe do a little bit of cutting with it before I make my final decision. But man, I'm pretty confident I'm gonna end up loving this. It feels so much lighter than I was expecting it to. The internal milling in here, I don't know if I'll be able to show you, but it's extensively milled out in there. Really difficult to even tell if you can see that. But yeah, it's like one of the most hollowed out knives that I've seen in a long time. Especially because these titanium scales are a little on the thick side. They're not like super thin. And they're really, like, it's deep milling in there. It's a lot of material taken out. Feels good in hand. I love that thumb ramp already. Man, saber grip is how I almost always hold a knife. And this just feels... The ergos for a saber grip on here are so good. Yeah, this is pretty wild. So yeah, this might just have to be my knife now. We shall see. But I'm impressed right off the bat, and I can see why so many people rave about these. I've heard so many people just seemingly like not shut up about this knife, and several other of his models as well, but specifically the Jcape seems to just be the one that everyone raves about the most. So yeah, here it is. Jcape version 3, flame titanium, satin blade, gold hardware. That lightning bolt and the backspacer too. That backspacer has pretty rough jimping, but honestly, it's not where my thumb lands back here. And in hand, I'm not even noticing it. Man, this thing is different and cool. All right, it's out of the box. I'll have a first impressions for you soon. I'll probably know by then whether I'm going to keep this knife or not. And Yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for checking it out. And again, Hero Sticks will be linked down below, so check him out if you haven't. His YouTube channel is awesome. Thanks, guys.